Hi. Welcome to Biography Recap. In this video we are talking about the legend himself, Charlie Chaplin. Charles Spencer Chaplin Jr., born on April 16, 1889 to Hannah Chaplin and Charles Chaplin Sr., was an English comic actor, filmmaker, and composer who rose to fame in the era of silent film. There is no official record of his birth, although Chaplin believed he was born at East Street, Walworth, in South London. His parents had married 4 years previously, at which time Charles Sr. became the legal guardian of Hannah's first son, Sidney John Hill. At the time of his birth, Chaplin's parents were both music hall entertainers. Hannah, the daughter of a shoemaker, had a brief and unsuccessful career under the stage name Lily Harley, while Charles Sr., a butcher's son, was a popular singer. Although they never divorced, Chaplin's parents were estranged by around 1891. Chaplin's childhood was fraught with poverty and hardship, making his eventual trajectory the most dramatic of all the rags to riches stories ever told, according to his authorized biographer David Robinson. Chaplin's early years were spent with his mother and brother Sidney in the London district of Kennington. Hannah had no means of income, other than occasional nursing and dressmaking, and Chaplin Sr. provided no financial support. As the situation deteriorated, Chaplin was sent to Lambeth Workhouse when he was 7 years old. The council housed him at the Central London District School for Paupers, which Chaplin remembered as a forlorn existence. He was briefly reunited with his mother 18 months later, before Hannah was forced to readmit her family to the workhouse in July 1898. The boys were promptly sent to Norwood Schools, another institution for destitute children. In September 1898, Hannah was committed to Cane Hill Mental Asylum. She had developed a psychosis seemingly brought on by an infection of syphilis and malnutrition. For the 2 months she was there, Chaplin and his brother Sidney were sent to live with their father, whom the young boys scarcely knew. Charles Sr. was by then a severe alcoholic, and life there was bad enough to provoke a visit from the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Chaplin's father died 2 years later, at 38 years old, from cirrhosis of the liver. Hannah entered a period of remission but, in May 1903, became ill again. Chaplin, then 14, had the task of taking his mother to the infirmary, from where she was sent back to Cane Hill. He lived alone for several days, searching for food and occasionally sleeping rough, until Sidney, who had joined the Navy 2 years earlier, returned. Hannah was released from the asylum 8 months later, but in March 1905, her illness returned, this time permanently. "There was nothing we could do but accept poor mother's fate," Chaplin later wrote, and she remained in care until her death in 1928. Chaplin began performing at an early age, touring music halls and later working as a stage actor and comedian. At 19, he was signed to the Fred Karno Company, which took him to the United States. He was scouted for the film industry and began appearing in 1914 for Keystone Studios. He soon developed the tramp persona and attracted a large fan base. He directed his own films and continued to hone his craft as he moved to the S&A, Mutual, and First National corporations. By 1918, he was one of the world's best-known figures. In 1919, Chaplin co-founded distribution company United Artists, which gave him complete control over his films. His first feature-length film was The Kid, 1921, followed by A Woman of Paris, 1923, The Gold Rush, 1925, and The Circus, 1928. He initially refused to move to sound films in the 1930s, instead producing City Lights, 1931, and Modern Times, 1936, without dialogue. His first sound film was The Great Dictator, 1940, which satirized Adolf Hitler. The 1940s were marked with controversy for Chaplin, and his popularity declined rapidly. He was accused of communist sympathies, and some members of the press and public were scandalized by his involvement in a paternity suit and marriages to much younger women. An FBI investigation was opened, and Chaplin was forced to leave the U.S. and settle in Switzerland. He abandoned the tramp in his later films, which include Monsieur Verdoux, 1947, Limelight, 1952, A King in New York, 1957, and a Countess from Hong Kong, 1967. Chaplin wrote, directed, produced, edited, starred in, and composed the music for most of his films. He was a perfectionist, and his financial independence enabled him to spend years on the development and production of a picture. His films are characterized by slapstick combined with pathos, typified in the tramp's struggles against adversity. Many contain social and political themes, as well as autobiographical elements. He received an honorary Academy Award for the incalculable effect he has had in making motion pictures the art form of this century, in 1972, as part of a renewed appreciation for his work. And some of Chaplin quotations are: "Simplicity is a difficult thing to achieve. Life can be wonderful if you're not afraid of it. All it needs is courage, imagination and a little dough. Laughter is the tonic, the relief, the surcease from pain. Imagination means nothing without doing. You'll never find rainbows if you're looking down. Life is a beautiful, magnificent thing, even to a jellyfish. We think too much and feel too little." Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, like and comment. See you next video. Bye.